I'm very thankful to Onion. It was the first poultice that I ever did. I was 26. My eldest daughter was 16 months old. Actually, when this happened, I was 25, and she got an earache.
What if the cure for your next health problem is sitting right in your kitchen? Not in a fancy medicine cabinet, but in that basket of onions and that jar of garlic. Barbara O'Neill isn't just another health expert. She's the rebel who walked away from nursing to uncover nature's most powerful healing secrets. Imagine fixing a cough with an onion poultice, or healing your body using ingredients most people toss into their dinner without a second thought. This isn't about trendy wellness hacks or Instagram-friendly smoothie recipes. This is about reclaiming the ancient wisdom our grandparents knew, that food isn't just nutrition, it's medicine. And Barbara has spent decades proving that simple, everyday ingredients can do what expensive pharmaceuticals often can't. Think about it. While doctors are writing prescriptions, she's showing people how a clove of garlic can be more powerful than a bottle of antibiotics. She raised her own children without sugar, proving that natural healing isn't just a theory, it's a lifestyle. Her methods aren't just about treating symptoms, they're about understanding your body's incredible ability to heal itself. In a world where we're bombarded with quick fixes and miracle drugs, Barbara O'Neill stands as a testament to a different approach. She's not just teaching health, she's starting a revolution. A revolution that starts in your kitchen, with ingredients you probably already have. Today, we're diving deep into the healing powers of nature's most overlooked medicines. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about health, healing, and the incredible potential of what's sitting in your pantry right now.
So I went to the doctor put Emma on antibiotics because everyone said, don't play with the ears, she'll go deaf. Do you know, we should never make decisions on fear. We should make decisions on fact. So of course, I thought, I don't want my child to go deaf, so I went to the doctor who put the child on antibiotics because he said she had an ear infection. So within about 24 hours of being on the antibiotic, the earache settled down. The course lasted for 5 days. Within 24 hours of stopping the antibiotics, the earache came back. I didn't know what to do, went back to the doctor. 6 weeks later, 4 courses of antibiotics later, the earache comes back. Now, what's the definition of insanity? To do what you've always done and expect different results, but I didn't know what else to do. I was ignorant, as so many are. So I went back to the doctor. He's writing the 5th course of antibiotics, and I was really challenged. I said to him, one question, will my daughter be on antibiotics for the rest of her life? Am I coming to that conclusion? He was challenged by my question. So he said, I'll give you a referral to an ear, nose and throat specialist. I went to the ear, nose and throat specialist. He looked in Emma's ears. He looked in Emma's mouth. He said, the child's teething. Give her these drops to keep the eustachian tubes clear. That was it.
Barbara's journey into natural remedies began with a frustrating experience. Her 16-month-old daughter, Emma, had a persistent earache, and the doctor prescribed antibiotics, 4 rounds over 6 weeks to be exact. Each time, the earache would settle down during the course, but return as soon as the antibiotics stopped. Barbara was at her wit's end, even asking if her daughter would be on antibiotics forever. It wasn't until a specialist revealed that Emma was simply teething, not suffering from an infection, that the real issue came to light. The eustachian tubes, which connect your ears, nose, and throat, were inflamed due to teething, and simple drops could clear them. This experience taught Barbara a crucial lesson. Modern medicine doesn't always have the answers, and sometimes the root cause of a problem is simpler than we think. It's a reminder to question quick fixes and dig deeper for solutions that actually address the issue, rather than just masking symptoms. 4 rounds of antibiotics for teething? That's like calling a SWAT team to deal with a paper cut. Way too much for way too little. This story teaches you to be your own health advocate. If a treatment isn't working, don't be afraid to seek a second opinion or explore alternatives. Understanding the role of the eustachian tubes can also help you recognize when ear issues might be related to something as simple as teething or allergies, saving you from unnecessary treatments.
2 years later, child number 2 is about the same age. Child number 2 gets an earache. I do not go to the doctor. I went to the old lady next door. I was about 26 by now, and she was 86. I said, "What did your mother do when you had an earache?" She said, "Mum would steam up an onion on the stove." So I went home, I steamed up an onion in the stove. When it was all soft, I wrapped it in a cloth, I put it on James' ear. James fell asleep. James slept for 2 hours. What does that tell you? He's not in pain. James woke up happy. All day I'm following him around. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. 4 courses of antibiotics, 6 weeks, and a 2-hour onion poultice. No wonder that experience set me on the path of natural remedy.
Fast forward 2 years, and Barbara's son James, around the same age as Emma had been, developed an earache. This time, Barbara didn't rush to the doctor. Instead, she turned to her 86-year-old neighbor for advice. The neighbor shared a remedy passed down from her mother: steam an onion. Barbara followed the advice. She steamed an onion, wrapped it in a cloth, and placed it on James' ear. In just 2 hours, James was pain-free and asleep, a stark contrast to Emma's 6-week antibiotic ordeal. Onions work by drawing out inflammation and fighting bacteria with their natural sulfur compounds, which is why they're so effective for earaches. This experience was a turning point for Barbara, showing her the power of natural remedies and setting her on a lifelong path of exploring nature's solutions. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the wisdom of our elders can outshine modern medicine, and that simple ingredients can have profound effects. 2 hours versus 6 weeks? That's like choosing a jet plane over a bicycle. Onions are the fast track to relief. This teaches you the importance of community wisdom. Don't underestimate the knowledge of older generations. It also highlights how inflammation plays a role in earaches, and how natural remedies like onions can address it without the side effects of antibiotics, which can disrupt your gut microbiome if overused.
Let's say someone's got a bad cough, and I'll give you a story to illustrate. I was at my daughter's house in America, and she's got a little 3-year-old boy, and she put him to bed. He had a bit of a cold, and we were listening, and he coughed, and he coughed, and he coughed, and he coughed. And you know what it's like, you just think he'll go to sleep any minute. Half an hour later, he's still coughing. So I said to Emma, "Get him up and we'll put the onion poultice on his feet." Because up near the face, up near the eyes, it can irritate, so we'll put it on the feet, because the feet are a reflex for the rest of the body. Specifically, the feet are a reflex for the chest, the feet are a reflex for the head, and the feet are a reflex for the abdomen. So what we did was we chopped up the onion like I'm doing right now, and we got 2 little plastic bags. Now, James is only 3, so little onions is good for a little one. And we put about a tablespoon of onion in one plastic bag, and we put a tablespoon of onion in another plastic bag. And then we put his feet in the plastic bag. So his foot, the bottom of his foot, is sitting on the onion. And then you pull the plastic bag up around his ankle and put a sock on. And then put him back to bed. So what's he got on? He's got his feet in the onion bag, and his feet, the bottom of his feet, where the biggest pores are in the whole body, are sitting on the onion. Now, not one more cough. And he'd been coughing for over half an hour. Not one more cough. Now, I know you're going to be keen to try this one, and it is so simple.
Here's a surprising remedy from Barbara: using onions on your feet to stop a cough. She shared a story about her 3-year-old grandson, who was at her daughter's house in America. The little boy had a cold and was coughing non-stop for half an hour, keeping everyone awake. Barbara decided to try an onion poultice, but instead of placing it near his face, where it could irritate his eyes, she put it on his feet. Why the feet? They're a reflex point for the body, meaning they can influence other areas like the chest, head, and abdomen. She chopped an onion, placed a tablespoon in 2 plastic bags, and put them on the soles of his feet, securing them with socks. The result was immediate. The coughing stopped, and he slept through the night. The feet have large pores that absorb the onion's anti-inflammatory compounds, which then travel to the chest to ease congestion. This remedy is a fantastic option when you're dealing with a persistent cough, especially at night when you just want some peace. From coughing like a broken smoke alarm to sleeping like a rock, onions just pulled a stealth mission on that cough. This remedy introduces you to the concept of reflexology, where different parts of the feet correspond to other areas of the body. You're also learning how to manage a cough naturally, which can help you avoid over-the-counter cough syrups that often come with side effects like drowsiness or upset stomach.
I had a lady ring me. She was about to be admitted to hospital with pneumonia. She's 23. She said, I don't want to go to hospital. I was admitted a month ago. I was put on strong antibiotics that made me so sick and it didn't really help. She said, so pneumonia is a pretty bad situation. So I said, come, we'll do what we can. We had a program on, so it was convenient. And I said to her, just a little tip on your way. She had a 5-hour drive. I said, cut up an onion, put half in one plastic bag, half in the other bag. Now, sorry, she didn't have to drive with the onion on her feet. Her boyfriend was driving. And I said, put your feet in those plastic bags and put a sock on. Well, she thought that was pretty strange, but she was willing to do anything. When she got to our health retreat, she was just smiling. She said, I'm in awe. She said, she said it lessened my tightness. She said it seemed to open my bronchioles. This is on the feet. Very simple treatment. Now, she was with us. When she came to us, she was on Ventolin, she was on cortisone drugs, and she was on anti-inflammatories. And we did some hot and cold water fomentations on her lungs, her chest. We'll tell you about that one in a minute. And we put onion on her feet every night, and we got her inhaling peppermint oil. And within the 3rd day, she was off all her medication. She started to walk up the hills with all the other guests, and she had just finished her nursing. And that was a year ago. She's now been 6 months a naturopathic student.
Barbara's onion on feet remedy isn't just for kids. It even helped a 23-year-old woman with pneumonia. This woman was desperate to avoid the hospital after antibiotics had failed her, leaving her sick and miserable. Barbara invited her to a health retreat and gave her a tip for the 5-hour drive. Cut an onion, put half in each plastic bag, and place them on her feet with socks. By the time she arrived, she was smiling. Her chest felt less tight, and she could breathe easier as the onion helped open her bronchial tubes. When she got to the retreat, she was on heavy meds like Ventolin, cortisone, and anti-inflammatories. But after 3 days of onion on her feet every night and inhaling peppermint oil, she was off all her medications and hiking with others. A year later, she was studying to become a naturopath, inspired by her experience. This story shows how natural remedies can support even serious conditions, offering a gentler alternative to harsh drugs. Onions turning a pneumonia patient into a hiker? That's like going from a hospital bed to a marathon. Nature's got some serious skills. You're learning how natural remedies can complement conventional treatments, especially when medications fail. This also introduces the idea of bronchial health. Keeping your airways open is key for respiratory conditions, and simple ingredients like onions and peppermint can help without the side effects of steroids.
What I'm going to do now is make onion syrup. Now this is one of the best cough syrups that you can make, and it is so easy and everyone loves it, especially when the children aren't used to sugar, which my children weren't. I've put a layer of chopped onion in a jar, and now I'm going to put approximately a teaspoon of honey. This must be good honey, it's very thick. And you know the best honey is thick honey. So that's about a teaspoon of honey. Now another layer of onion, another teaspoon of honey. Now by the end of this evening, a syrup should have formed. Can you see what I'm doing there? Now I'm putting another layer of onion. Now because I don't want to spend another 5 minutes peeling and chopping another onion, this is all I'm going to do, but you certainly can fill your jar. So I'll put an extra dose up on, we'll put maybe 2 teaspoons of honey on the top. And I'm glad we've got this thick honey, because all honey should be like that. You know, a lot of honey has got glucose syrup in it, which is just sugar water. So whenever honey is thin and runny in the winter, get worried. It's got sugar in it. And my children used to put honey on their porridge, and you know, they dig it out like candied honey, but as soon as it goes in the porridge, it melts. So can you see that? It's a great illustration because the honey's quite dark. Now that honey's just sitting there with the onion, but in about an hour you'll see a syrup formed. Now this is a cough mixture, and if someone's got a bad cough, they can have a teaspoon of that 3 times a day, or a child could have a half a teaspoon 3 times a day. So if your child's coughing very badly, give them a teaspoon of onion syrup, chop up the onion in 2 plastic bags, wrap it on their feet and put them to bed. They should and you should have a nice sleep that night. So that's another thing that you can do with the onion, is the onion syrup.
Barbara has another cough remedy up her sleeve: onion syrup. Here's how to make it. Layer chopped onion and thick honey in a jar, alternating between the two. Onion, honey, onion, honey. Let it sit for an hour, and it'll turn into a natural syrup. Take a teaspoon 3 times a day to soothe your throat. Barbara emphasizes using thick honey because thin, runny honey often contains added glucose syrup, which is just sugar water and lacks the healing properties of real honey. Real honey has antibacterial and soothing effects, making it the perfect partner for onion in this remedy. This syrup is a fantastic alternative to store-bought cough medicines, especially for kids, since it's sweet and free of chemicals. It's a simple way to calm a cough and get some rest, and it's a great example of how 2 natural ingredients can work together to support your health. Onion syrup, basically a dessert that kicks your cough to the curb. It's the glow-up your throat didn't see coming. You're learning how to make a natural cough syrup that's safe for the whole family. This also teaches you to be mindful of food quality. Choosing real thick honey over processed versions ensures you're getting the full health benefits, which can apply to other natural remedies too.
Now, a member of the onion family is garlic. And garlic is a very powerful antibiotic, but if you want to use it as an antibiotic, you should take 4 cloves a day. That's quite strong. So here's a clove of garlic, and how you can take it when a person's got a bad cold is as a flu bomb. So I'm going to write the recipe for flu bomb up here. So flu bomb, and when you taste it, it'll seem like you've just drunk a bomb. Garlic. Now, someone loves garlic, they might have 2 cloves, but approximately 1 clove. And if I was doing it for a child, I'd use a very tiny little clove, and that's crushed. The next ingredient is ginger, and we'll be talking about ginger this evening. And this is about 1/4 teaspoon, and that's finely chopped. So they're the first 2 ingredients in the flu bomb. The third ingredient is the juice of a lemon. It's usually 1 lemon juice. And the next ingredient is honey, and usually 1 teaspoon. The next ingredient is eucalyptus oil, or you can use tea tree oil, 1 drop, that's it. And the next ingredient is cayenne pepper. And we'll be talking about cayenne pepper later this evening. And I'll just leave that one free because for some people it's a light shake. For other people who are very brave, it might be half a teaspoon. So I'll just leave that one up to you. Now all of these things are put in half a cup of hot water. And then you drink it. Now you don't have to chew up the ginger and the garlic, you just throw it down. And if a person's got anything from pneumonia to bronchitis to asthma to the flu to sinus problems, any respiratory problems, that will bring relief, and it usually brings relief for about 4 hours. So my suggestion is, if you have such a complaint, that you have 3 or 4 a day. And it's usually best with a meal, because if you put all that heating herbs onto a raw stomach, cast iron stomach wouldn't hurt, but a tender stomach might feel a little bit sore. So you might have that before you have a nice big bowl of hot steaming soup, which is very nice, a thick soup when you've got a cold. So that's the flu bomb.
For serious respiratory issues, Barbara recommends a flu bomb, a potent mix of natural ingredients designed to give your body a fighting chance. Here's the recipe. 1 clove of crushed garlic, use a smaller clove for kids. A 1/4 teaspoon of chopped ginger, the juice of 1 lemon, a teaspoon of honey, a drop of eucalyptus oil, and a pinch of cayenne pepper, all mixed in half a cup of hot water. Drink it down. It'll provide relief for about 4 hours from conditions like bronchitis, asthma, or the flu. Garlic is a natural antibiotic, thanks to its allicin content, which can kill off pathogens. Ginger and cayenne boost circulation, helping your body deliver oxygen and nutrients where they're needed. Eucalyptus oil opens your airways, making it easier to breathe, and honey soothes your throat. This remedy is a powerhouse for anyone struggling with respiratory issues, offering a natural alternative to heavy medications. It's called a flu bomb because it hits your system like a spicy explosion. Your cold doesn't stand a chance. You're learning a multi-ingredient remedy that targets respiratory health from multiple angles: antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and decongestant. Onions and garlic aren't just random kitchen hacks. They're backed by science. Onions are loaded with sulfur compounds that fight bacteria and reduce inflammation, which is why they're so effective for earaches and coughs. These compounds, like quercetin, also have antioxidant properties that support your immune system. Garlic is a natural antibiotic with allicin that can kill off pathogens, making it a go-to for infections. Together, they improve circulation, helping your body deliver oxygen and nutrients more efficiently, and they help your body detox by supporting liver function. Ingredients like honey and ginger add soothing and anti-inflammatory effects. Honey coats your throat to reduce irritation, while ginger's gingerol helps fight inflammation. Eucalyptus and cayenne open up your airways, with eucalyptus acting as a decongestant and cayenne stimulating blood flow. These remedies work because they support your body's natural healing processes, giving it the tools it needs to fight back without the side effects of synthetic drugs. Onions and garlic, the unsung heroes of your kitchen. They're out here saving the day while your medicine cabinet just collects dust. If you found these remedies helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more natural health tips and share this video with your friends and family. Spreading the word means a lot to the channel, and it helps us keep bringing you awesome content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.